get some money. Every day we blowing gas. Every day we in the mall. Every day we blowing cash. I do this every day. Every day I do this shit. It's just an ordinary day. Every day I get some money. Every day we blowing gas. Every day we in the mall. Every day we blowing cash. I do this every day. Every day I do this shit. It's just an ordinary day.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Face from Flight School TV. I'm down here on 18th Street. And what's this, Halsted?
Yeah, 1745 South Halsted.
1745 South Halsted with my man Brandon from BLR Designs. If you don't know, you about to find out who this man is. Now, I'm gonna tell you how I came about finding who you were. Cause I had just finished doing the interview with Artie, that's over there, Definitive Selection, over there in Pilsen. And off camera, I was telling him like, I'm on this binge where like I'm not wearing anything that's not a local brand. Even the shirt that I got on, shout out to Kevon, follow him on Instagram at Kevon773. Like this one of his shirts. And I was telling him like, yeah, I can wear all the shirts and hoodies, hats that represent local brands in Chicago, but I'm like, man, but it ain't no jeans. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm forced to buy some Levi's or some whatever I find in Macy's or Nordstrom's or something like. So I'm forced to. I'm like, that's the only thing I gotta compromise on. And he was like, man, why you don't holler at my man Brandon? I'm like, man, who is that? He was like, man, you ain't know, like, he one of the guys from Chicago that actually make jeans. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I gotta try to look him up. Mm-hmm. So then I go to Leaders and I talk to Diego. Diego is like one of my mentors. He always go to him in advice. I'm like, Diego, you ever heard of Brandon, like a guy that make jeans in Chicago? He was like, yeah, he right over here. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it seemed like everybody knew about you except for me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's why I see a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at, I done been looking at your designs of your jeans. I done been seeing like the work that you got in here. Mm-hmm. So, and I also follow you on Instagram. I see your love for cars. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. And I see you post your jeans on there. I'm like, man, this whole time I've been sleeping. You know what I'm saying? So just to let the audience know, like, man, can you give them an introduction of who you are?
So Brandon from Chicago, actually from the south suburbs, Richmond Park. I've been working in the design kind of fashion and design industry and photo industry here in the city for over like 10 years now.
10 years is a strong run.
Yeah. I went to Columbia here. I got a BFA in graphic design in Chicago. I did 2 years of product design in a school called CCS in Detroit. So I have a wide range of talents.
So you wasn't just like a kid off the street that was just like, you know what, I know how to sew, I'm gonna start putting stuff together. You actually knew what you wanted to do and went to school for it. Then,
well, actually I didn't. I knew what I wanted to do initially. I wanted to be a car designer. And so I went to product design school for transportation. And I had a focus on transportation design. But through that schooling, I learned how to make design shoes, furniture, cars.
Yeah, but see, like a lot of people don't realize, like, even though you want to design cars, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure like people like Virgil want to design houses and buildings. You know what I'm saying? So y'all minds, even though y'all set off to be in a different area of designing things, when y'all enter the fashion industry, y'all got a different POV, different point of view on a lot of things. You see things different, almost like an architect. You know what I'm saying? Like, So I think, if anything, that probably helps you in the long run.
Definitely, along the way. Another thing is like my father introduced me to a film camera, like an old Minolta film camera when I was really young.
I never even heard of that one.
And so we would go to car shows when I was little, and I would take pictures of all the cars. So I've been taking pictures of cars since I was very little.
Yeah, I noticed that on your Instagram. You got a lot of, it's either cars or jeans, you know what I'm saying, or some type of fashion.
Most of my interest is in the design field in general, arts in general.
So after you went to Columbia, then you said you went to school where, in Detroit?
Yeah. That was before Columbia, actually.
Oh, that was before Columbia?
I did 2 years there in Detroit, and then I switched majors. I switched to graphic design, and I went to Columbia in Chicago.
Okay, then, like, when did you decide to, like, jump into the fashion world and make your first pair of jeans, or even a t-shirt, if it was a t-shirt?
No, I started, like, doing, like t-shirt designs, and then I ended up getting into a couple of, like, local streetwear stores in Wicker Park.
Could you name a few, just if you can remember?
At one point it was St. Alfred's, and it was Leaders, 1354.
Shit, them some strong ass moves, bro. That's not, you're not talking about like a little rinky dink store in the mall, bro. Like you straight out the gate. St. Alfred and Leaders, bro.
Very humble beginnings, but those two spots definitely.
That's what's up. So that they must have seen your talent early on.
Yeah. Just around the way, I was collecting sneakers at the time, like everybody else.
Right. So
styling.
Yeah. So all right. So you started off just doing t-shirt designs.
I was doing custom shoes as well.
And you was doing custom shoes?
Yeah.
So like your portfolio is thick.
Yeah.
So you actually, if you really wanted to get to the substance and really dive deep, you can really go way further than jeans. You can design shoes, shirts, pants. Yeah. You can damn near put together somebody's whole outfit.
Yeah, definitely.
And you can do all that from scratch.
Most of it, yeah.
So where did you learn how to like sew and do these things and get the measurements and all that?
That didn't happen so after I graduated from Columbia in graphic design, I started a company, and I started working, doing freelance graphic design, and most of the jobs I was getting was for the fashion industry, for like t-shirts and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I found myself getting to a point where I was collecting denim at the time. I was very much into denim. And I had spent some money on some jeans that ended up breaking down, ripping, doing all this stuff. And it's like I thought I paid too much to have that experience. Right. Exactly. And then I was like, I thought to myself, like, I know too much about denim from collecting it and selling, working in the industry. So it's just like, I was like, all right, let me just learn how to sew. So luckily my mother knew how to sew my whole life. I've known her from sewing anything in the household. I
was going to eventually get to that part. That's actually one of the things that I choose to focus on. Like, since you brought it up, like, how was your childhood? Like, did you have both parents in the house?
Yeah, I did.
And what was you like, middle class, like lower class, struggling?
I guess most people would say middle class.
Middle class, so it was kind of decent, you know what I'm saying?
Definitely. I had a wonderful childhood. I got to travel a lot. I was in a lot of art schools when I was little.
See, but things like that is why, that's why I ask questions like that, because your childhood experiences in a lot of situations, whether it's you done had a good childhood or a bad one, it molds you into the person that you end up becoming. Yeah. Now, you just mentioned that you had a good childhood, you traveled a lot, and so that changed, like I said, once again, it changed your point POV. You know what I'm saying? You got a different vision from the next person because you done been to different places and seen different things. And now maybe you don't even like you might not even recognize it when you coming up with these designs, but it's probably been collecting in your mind over the years of all these different things that you've seen, that you've been exposed to as a child, and now it's all come to fruition for you. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So, like, all right, to pick up where we left off, you were saying, okay, you had basically overpaid for some jeans, and you was like, man, I paid this much money for these jeans, like they should not be ripping on me like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, or just like being subpar and just like things that I needed the denim or the jeans to do. So I was like, all right, let me try. As I had designed a lot of other things in my life, let me try to do my own clothing. So I started with jeans because I remember being in conversation with a couple of people and them saying that was the hardest thing to sew. So
that's probably why you don't see a lot of denim companies.
Yeah. So yes, it was very hard to learn. But
so you basically grew up around your mom sewing. And you basically was just like paying attention to what she was doing. So you was like, man, you know what? Let me give this a shot.
Yeah, basically.
So at what year did you actually make your first jean, if you can remember?
Man, I had to have been like maybe 8 years ago.
Like 8 years ago, that was like your first jean. How did it come out? Was it?
This is actually the second pair that I ever made.
That's your second pair, bro?
I have on right now, yeah.
Them decent, bro. Like if them was in the store, bro, like I ain't saying this for the camera. I am not saying this for the camera or just because I'm sitting here with the man. The jeans is actually decent, bro. Like I would cop them in the store right now. You know what I'm saying? But I see your progression, bro. Like that's one thing that I gotta let be known. I definitely see your progression, like from where you started at to like where you took it to. You see what I'm saying? So after you designed your first jean, what made you want to continue doing that?
Well, it all started with like basically having a pair of jeans that could facilitate my lifestyle. So like at the time I was like doing freelance photography and freelance graphic design. I'd be doing a lot of on-the-run photography in the streets. So I would need a lot of like pockets and cargo, and I need the jeans to
right.
certain types of ways and have a certain level of like quality and finesse, so that I could wear them working and then wear them going out. All in the same.
Cause that's how it should like that's how Chicago niggas is. Like we gotta be like the flyest nigga around, and especially like if
the wardrobe had to multitask.
Yeah, so. Especially if you knew how to sew and put your stuff together. Like most of the time, them dudes was the flyest dudes. You know what I'm saying? Because they knew how to put their stuff together. They self. You know what I'm saying? But so when did you see your first like successful product? I know you was
successful.
I know you was in Leaders and St. Alfred doing T-shirts, but I mean, let's just stick to the denim. You know what I'm saying? Like
in terms of the denim, I think the first pair that I made, I have in the back actually. It was just like it's pretty much. At the time, my favorite cut was the Dior 18 centimeter cut, and it was that was like my favorite. And then my second favorite was that APC New Standard.
Yeah, see, that's
standard
you speaking a whole nother language to me. I'm just going along with the story. I'm listening, but
so I was wearing a lot of when I first started, I was wearing a lot of camo, and so. My first pair of pants that I ever made was like a pair of like my own version of a BDU kind of camo pant.
Yeah, see, you still right above my head. Cause
Just like a basic camouflage pants.
I'm a Jabot. Like back in the day, I was rocking Jabots with the straps.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But you was on a whole different level back then. You feel me?
I mean, even back then, I don't recall ever having a pair of Jabot straps. I'm very familiar with that.
That's what I'm saying. So you always had an eye for something on a different level.
I was wearing a lot of Echo back then. I was a big Echo fan.
All right, so, what was your first successful denim? Like, and if
Like
you
I said,
can put a year
ever
to
since
it.
I did my first one, I put the pictures up. A whole bunch of people hit me up on social media, and I've been selling them ever since. I still get requests for like some of my earlier designs.
Was it hard to keep up with the demand?
Definitely.
Once
It's always been hard to keep up with demand because I always been like just one person. My mother was helping me for some years. Now it's really just me.
Right.
But at first I was like kind of striving to like figure out a way to grow the business and get a lot of manufacturing. But I've learned to kind of like it how it is actually.
Right.
Each piece tends to be like a piece of art.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, I like that a little better.
Yeah, directly from you. You know what I'm saying? Your sweat went into that denim.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a dope thing to hear, man. Especially for a person to have that much integrity in their brand. You know what I'm saying? But did you ever have any like big name people that you were shocked like, damn, he want a pair of my jeans?
Don C ordered some jeans one time. That was pretty cool.
Oh, that's dope. And that's all off like word of mouth, like,
Yeah,
like you know what I'm saying? Hey, this kid Brandon doing his thing, bro. Y'all gotta check him out.
Yeah.
And Don C put it in an order, like,
Yeah.
man, you know, bless me with something.
That
How
was
they
tight.
look?
I never even got to see him on. He ordered them off the website actually.
So when you, do you know did you know which ones he ordered?
Yeah, it was actually this design all indigo salvage.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
It was like 8-pocket design that I've been working on for a while. As I introduced it with the 3D kind of pattern. So it's like a bow and a leg, as you can see on most of these.
So with you, like, you wanted to design cars.
Yeah.
Is that still something that you still want to do?
Yeah, definitely. I want to get towards that lane.
Yeah, so you slowly, like, that's not a dream that you just was like, nah, you know what, forget that. This working too good for me. I'm gonna just stick with this.
You know, the business is multifaceted. So this is the season of what I'm working on right now is jeans. But I do graphic tees, I do hats, I do all types of stuff. So this is just an introduction of jeans right now. But there's so much more.
So
yeah.
when people order from you, like, what's your price range?
Anywhere between $350 to $1,000.
Right, and as you can see.
Yeah, with this type of stuff, with the treatment of the fabrics and the distressing of the jean, obviously that'd be more to the end of $1,000. And some of the raw designs with just using raw denim are closer to the $350 side.
That's what's up.
What you want. Yeah.
So, like, what's the next step as far as you see it?
It's definitely like growing a business. Like as I said before, I do like how it is now, but in order to get to the next steps, more people have to know about the brand. I have to have some manufacturing. It can't just be me making everything. If I wanted to grow past where it's at right now.
And what you've been in it, and what you've been doing this for like 8 years, like, where do you find inspiration from? Like, where do you draw inspiration from?
Well, I still
now.
Like I do a lot of photography in the motorsport and automobile, like fine automobile industry. So I pull a lot from those things. I'm also into architecture. I'm into furniture design. I'm into
Oh, so I'm basically talking. I'm talking to the next Virgil, man. I'm talking to the next Virgil right now. If y'all haven't picked up on how talented this man is, like he basically just laid it out. Like the man does it all. It started with t-shirts. Now he on denim. Then pretty soon he finna be designing cars. I can see that coming. Maybe he might design your next mansion. You never know. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely support what you're doing, bro. And I definitely like the fact that you doing it yourself and you putting in the groundwork. And that groundwork that you putting in is definitely getting recognized because it was brought to my attention, and I wasn't looking for you, but it was brought to my attention. That's how you know you're doing something right, bro.
Yeah. And you know, shout out to all the people that connected the dots to get you to right here, right now. Word of mouth has been the strongest part of my business. It's kept me afloat. So
I just want to let you know, bro. Like I appreciate you even taking the time out to sit down and talk to me, because you know what I'm saying, like. With me, it's very important that I spread awareness about these dope brands that's in our backyard. You know what I'm saying? Instead of this person, every rapper want to rock ball mains. You know what I'm saying? But really, they can come right here to BLR. You know what I'm saying? And grab something that ain't gonna rip on them. You feel me? Grab you some quality jeans from right here in your backyard, and still maintain that same price point that you was gonna spend over there. But at the same time, you spending it at home and keeping the money in the family in the way, you know. So I definitely want to salute you for everything that you've been doing and everything that you've done, bro. And I guess to end the interview, I want you to get the people your contact information. So if they see anything they like, we're gonna do a little walk around. I'm gonna get a little up close and personal so people can see the detail that you put into your work. But just get the people your information so they can find you.
Yeah, so social media is blrdesign.us. That's my website. That's all .us. blrphoto.us, blrgraphic.us, and blrdesign.us. All get you to the same spot. And then all my hashtags and everything associated with social media is all BLR Design. I'm located in Chicago, 1745 South Halsted Street.
And before I end the interview, I got one last question. You do custom orders?
Yeah, I do custom orders.
So if somebody called you and was like, I need a jean this color, I needed to match this shoe, and I needed this way.
Within the realms of what's available, yes. That's possible.
There you go, man. Flight School TV down here at BLR Designs with my man Brandon. It's your boy Face, man. If y'all don't know, now y'all do. Man, come down here and at least check out the environment, spend some money right here at home. Man, I appreciate your time, bro. Much love, bro.
I do this every day.